Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for empaths. Okay, if you have no Pisces anything, not dealing with a Pisces, you find yourself on one of my videos, you're probably an empath. And if you find yourself resonating, it's probably for you. So, as you guys know, if you spend any length of time with me, I tend to not do love, wealth, future type readings. I'm very much about empowerment and, getting you to see the things that you're doing that is actually taking your power from you. No, not today. Today, we are going to be doing love. We're going to be doing wealth. We're going to be doing chocolate. Okay. First off, I'm a retired chocolatier. I've retired from so much shit. It's ridiculous. I'm a retired chocolatier. And I'm just saying, okay, this is a fraction of what's left. This is this is the full bar. Yeah, okay? Okay. Um, for the first time in, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 7 years, I'm finally allowing people for a very limited time and in very limited quantities. I'm willing to make them for you guys. This is a part of my birthday celebration. Um, I make these. They are gluten-free, dairy-free. They are made of fair trade cacao. That means this chocolate, I source it from someone who actually properly pays the people who harvest the cacao. That's a major problem in case you guys are not aware. There's a lot of abuse of power, a lot of slavery going on with the people who are harvesting the cacao. These farms, the practices is not okay. So you got to be careful about the kind of chocolates that you eat, simply because we're talking about human rights, human right violations, things like that. Okay. But let's get started with our reading. Well, first, hold on. Hold on first. Let me just have some. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's so good. Maybe you guys shouldn't buy any. Simply because I'm probably not going to be offering it again anytime soon, like once it's sold out. So it's going to ruin chocolate for you. Not joking. No other chocolate will hit the same spot. Here's a little secret, okay, you guys, while I'm preparing the cards, I sing into the chocolate. If you guys don't know, um, these chocolates are charged with like the happiest of energies. Chocolate makes me so fucking happy. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It makes me so fucking happy. So happy. And I it's hard for me to make the truffles simply because I have to be in a certain type of really good mood. Like really, really, really good mood to make the truffles. All right. Thank you guys so much for greeting me happy birthday. Thank you so much. Hold on. Let me get this. So this is future. I guess we'll do love for this. All right. Ooh, oh, 5 of them. Let's see where that goes. Let's just see where that goes. Let's do this and this for wealth, okay? Oh, y'all. So it's Pisces season. I'm trying to be extra present. Extra. It's okay to be extra sometimes. It's okay to be extra during your season. Here we go. Final deck, okay? Oh, that's a lot of cards. I'm not keeping that. That's hella cards. All right. Almost done. Here we go. Okay. So, a million more for you. Let's start with love. Let us start with love, okay? Pisces. Thank you, Germanica. Look at this. Okay. Card number 16. What you want wants you. We're talking about love. Love wants you. Someone is probably very focused on you in this period. Pisces and Ephesians. What? That's a book in the Bible. What do you mean, Ephesians? Um, Maintain the unity, practicality which Christ has effected positionally by his death. Another major theme in Ephesians is the keeping of Christ's body pure and holy. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children. Okay, so keeping of the body. That, I mean, to me, kind of tells me don't give no one no booty. I'm just saying, don't give just anybody booty. You got to really, really, really feel this out first, okay? This is your season right now, Pisceans. What ends up happening is we end up accumulating all this energy that just wafts every time you move. It's like Bella standing in front of the fan and her hair is moving, and Edward is like, I want to eat you. Don't let people eat you, yo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Be selective. Be very selective. What you want wants you. If you want someone who is very selective, very discerning, who will treat you like a holy, sacred temple and they feel honored to be allowed to come visit, they can't be hoish either. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This love, in order for it to work, like long term, unless you don't want long term, in which case get your groove on. It's not for me to tell you how to live. But if you want it to be long term, something that has a lot of substance, then you have to establish that at the very beginning. Okay? You have to establish that at the very beginning. So let's see. Card number 3, inspiration. So, whatever this is, this connection with someone else, it could totally be something that can bring sweetness, bring honey into your life. It can cause blossoming, of course, that honeybee wants to wants to play amongst your petals. It's up to you what you want to do with that. But just know, again, if you want something that has substance, has like long term potential, you can't give everything right then and there in hopes that they'll reciprocate that. If you have someone first earn something, they then appreciate it because they've worked for it. And I'm not talking about playing games, okay? I'm not talking about playing games. I'm talking about really, really valuing what you're bringing to the table. Whether you're valuing your parts and pieces, I don't know. I think you're so much more than just parts and pieces. If you're valuing what you can bring, um, usually you'll see pretty early on if this person is just there for the games. We don't need any more spiritual fuckboys, you guys. Fuckboys and fuck girls, okay? It doesn't matter if they Amazon Prime their fuckboy, fuck girl starter pack and they've been practicing their lines. Really, don't partake in any of that. Just don't. Don't do it. Don't play yourself. Do not allow yourself to get so caught up in the potential of what's in front of you because really, oftentimes, thank you, Wicked Love Media. Oftentimes, what ends up happening is this is why we end up getting hurt, Pisceans and empaths. We end up falling in love with the thought of being in love. And it's just, you know, uh-uh, mm-mm. Don't try and fall in love, try and grow in it. Falling in love, what's that get you? Flat on your face, flat on your ass. Growing in love, allowing that seed to be watered and cherished, protected, valued, that can really grow you. So, card number 11, diving for light. This card comes up too, though. So, card number 25, releasing the dark wound, let love live. So, here's the thing, for some, you are indeed dealing with someone who has a soul connection to you. Okay. This is something that's very real. There's depth to it, there's texture, there's nuance. There are things that you can and want to cultivate. For others of you, y'all, that's rotten. Even for fish, if it smells fishy, it's rotten. For the goodies, if it smells fishy, you might want to see someone about that. No joke. Healthy fish, fish that you actually consume, fish from the ocean, from rivers, lakes, um, they don't smell fishy like that. It's only the unhealthy ones. It's only the ones that are diseased, deceased. Those are the ones, the rotting ones. You have to let go whatever is rotting. Don't keep it there just because, oh, look, I caught something. It's not going to be worth your time. It's not going to be worth your effort. No matter how much potential you see in it, a rotting fish is a rotting fish. You're not going to save that. You're not going to be able to boil out the rot and salvage the fish. You're just not. You're going to end up giving yourself a bellyache. And, it's really up to you. It's up to you if that's something you want to do. It's up to you if you want to value yourself and create space within your life to allow a true soul connection to come in. Um, I want to steer clear from the whole twin flame, twin ray topic because the goal is not to find your twin ray or twin flame. The goal, the goal, okay, your goal should be to find yourself in such a centered space that you draw to you reflections of your strength, reflections of your self love, reflections of your internal stability, and being able to um, share space with that individual who's reflecting all of these beautiful things that you've been growing and cultivating, sharing a space with someone who's in a similar position. They don't have to agree with everything, they don't have to like all the same things. They just have to have the same goals, the same willingness to work on themselves. Because really, and I'm saying this as a woman, I'm sorry. I'm not here to be your mother. I'm just not. You need me to take care of you. You need me to feed you. You need me to do your go the fuck back home. I'm just saying. Are you an adult or are you a child? And if for people who are drawn to men and you need them to take care of you, you need them to buy you things, you need them to pay your bills, you need them to take you I mean, you might want to work on whatever problems are going on that are rooted in your relationship with your father figure. You should both be independent. You should both be able to sustain your own lifestyles independent of each other and then be able to enjoy space together where it's not just one person who has to carry the burden of whatever it is you guys are wanting to do. Now, this is long-term type of love. This is long-term type of love. This is something you have to cultivate. This is something, if they have to earn your love and your respect and your trust, you have to do the same. Okay? When both of them are willing to do the same, perfect. You've gotten equals. You guys are equals. You guys can grow together. You guys can establish something ridiculously beautiful, very solid, very real. Real relationships have arguments, have disagreements. Okay. I've found from from all of the stuff that I've helped people to work through, I've found that usually, and there's probably exceptions to this, but usually when there's never any disagreements, one of the people in that relationship is being fake. They are withholding how they truly feel. That is not going to last. That is not going to last and be happy, because one will always feel as though they're overgiving, they're not appreciated, they're not heard. And sometimes, oftentimes, that's what leads to infidelity. Okay. If you're into monogamy, um, I guess not a lot of people are into monogamy now. I'm very into monogamy. I'm very, very into monogamy. So, but again, it's really, what do you want? Because you can't be into polygamy type behaviors, polygamy type um, activities, and then expect them to be monogamous. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. What ends up happening, if you want monogamy from someone, if you want them to be faithful to you, then you have to be faithful to what you're building together. Because if you're still in that mindset of, I'm gonna dabble over here, I'm gonna dabble over there, what ends up happening is that's what you draw to you. You draw to you a similar type of mindset because that's what you're attracted to. You know what I mean? You like that, like, ooh, I'm gonna catch you playing games. What? Some people like that. If you like that, you like that. It's no biggie. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm just like, look, are you gonna be here or not? No? Okay, bye. I gotta go. I have other things I gotta do. You gonna be here? Okay, so what do you wanna do? Are we gonna eat? Are we gonna take a nap? What do you wanna do? Yeah, I know. I'm just totally like, no. Card number 2, inner trust. For some of you, I feel like with this love aspect, I feel like you've already met this person. It's not for everyone though. I feel like for some of you, you've already met this person and it was something that was scary. There was just too much resonance, and maybe like logically you hadn't exited yet some of the trauma based um reactions, responses, thought processes from previous relationships. Because really, what I see oftentimes when people want to be monogamous, but they're still participating in polygamous type behaviors, what's happened is someone has hurt them tremendously. Someone from their past has hurt them tremendously, and now they're very afraid of, putting their all into a relationship. And so they're keeping their options open. You're not keeping your options open. You're sabotaging yourself. Really let that sink in. If you feel like you have to keep your options open, don't date. Don't date. Find out what you really want. What do you really want from a relationship? What do you really want from your life partner? And then open yourself to crossing paths with a person who's already that, not a person that you can turn into that. That never works. That never works. Mm-mm, mm-mm. A lot of the things like, um, because my husband and I, we've been together for a very long time, since I was I a teen? I don't know. I don't know. I think I was a teen. I met him when I was a teen. I don't know. Maybe I was 20. I don't know. It's been a while. I've been with him for over half my life. And what I recognize is that when there were really rough moments, because a real relationship will have rough patches, they will. And the way you cultivate that depth of connection is by working through those rough patches. And that's why we have a strong connection, because we've had quite a few rough patches where I'm just like, motherfucker, why are you here? Why are you really here? Hmm, hmm. What is your goal here? What is the end result that you're looking? Because if you're just going to try and piss me off, you can just go. And I don't know what his thought process is, but that really opens up communication where it's like, you're crazy. You're being crazy again. Why? Yeah. So, really, what is your goal? What is your goal? Because in those times, a lot of the behaviors that I was seeing was making me feel like, maybe this is not something that he wants. And I'm not going to try and turn you into someone that I want you to be. You either want to be here or you don't. And if you don't, then what are you doing here? We end up really ignoring the ways in which the person in our life is telling us whether they want to be here or not. And you can't have this mindset of, um well, if you're not going to be here in the way I want you to be here, then you just need to leave. No, there needs to be a communication, like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like, this is what you're feeling? What is actually going on? And sometimes we have to be aware of that. It's our own, like, it's our own insecurity that's being projected out, where it's like, okay, so maybe you have some sort of insecurity of, abandonment. Maybe that's something you struggled through earlier in your life, and now because of that experience that you've had, you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for someone to walk out of your life. And sometimes when you do that, when you have that mindset and it's unrecognized, that's the very thing that causes the split, the fracturing. Is it their job to fix you? Is it their job to fix the parts of you that you think is broken? Or is their presence helping you to understand, oh, there's something inside me that's hurting? And your presence is triggering this. Maybe they don't intend to trigger it. Maybe it's just their presence that's triggering this. And maybe it's time for you to recognize this is a gift. This is a gift. You're being gifted with an opportunity to love yourself in the way you are seeking someone else to love you. Um, hold on, guys. Uh, okay, hold on. Yeah, you have to make sure you understand what it is that you need. Okay, what do you need from someone? So for me, when I was the age I was when I met my husband, I needed someone to help me understand all the ways in which I saw myself in an inaccurate way, all the ways in which I was excessively harsh with myself. I needed someone to help me to understand not everyone is going to leave. Not thank you. Not everyone is going to um betray you. Not everyone is using you. Not everyone this, not everyone that. And it just so happened because I was able and willing to see where these conversations outside of me were leading me within myself. I was able to begin trusting that, this is not a game. He's not playing a game with me. He's not. He's not playing a game with me. I have to recognize that I am looking for ways in which to sabotage something that's genuine. Okay? Something that's really truly genuine. And yeah, no, I have no problem sharing that I used to have this mindset of, if I sense anything kind of off, I'm out. I'm not going to sit and wait to know that you were doing stupid shit behind I'm out. And I probably sabotaged quite a few relationships in that way that had potential to be long term. And I mean, I'm totally the person who, up until I met my husband, relationships would last like 3 weeks, 3 months if you're lucky. I mean, really, I saw it as I'm still young. I'm really not interested in and committing myself to other people's traumas. Like, I'm just not interested in that. I'd rather be alone. And the thing is, it wasn't because I wasn't interested in committing to other people's traumas. Looking back now, I recognize I wasn't interested in seeing my traumas displayed by people outside of me because I wasn't brave enough. I wasn't strong enough to see all of these different parts of me playing out in someone else's life. So I would prefer to just be alone. It was a way to protect myself. So with that, um, just make sure you trust yourself. When you are getting ready to really commit to someone, why are you committing? What is this about? Is this something that feels very, very right? Or are you just wanting this coveted title of we're twin flames? The most common question, the most common question that I get when people find out that my husband and I have been together for over 20 years. It's like, "Oh, is he your twin flame?" Fuck no, he's not. He's not a twin nothing. He's not a twin nothing. Are you kidding me? Hell no, we are polar opposites. And that's what I need. That's what I need. I need someone who is complete opposite from me so that the places in which I feel weak and unsure and like, "Oh my god, I don't know who I am." He's like, "No, I got you, boo. I know who you are." I know who you are. And the places where I feel like really powerful and secure in myself, those are the places where he's like, "Shine, go, shine, do your thing. Just do your thing." I mean, really though, what do we need? We keep this mindset of, I want someone who has the same interests as me. I want someone who does this because I do this and that because I do that. My husband really, really like he brought it for full circle years ago when he said to me, and I've shared this a few times already. He said to me in the midst of a heated discussion argument, we were arguing. He said, "Do you want me to be you? You don't even like yourself." I'm like, "Fucker, how dare you be that honest with me?" But it was the truth. I was trying to make him into me. I didn't even like myself at that time. I didn't like myself. I felt awkward. I felt out of place in every aspect of my life. And I was trying to force him to join me there without realizing it. Is that what you're doing now? Because my husband is some other type of man. I don't know that I'll ever come across another man like him, where he's been able to help me learn things without trying to teach it to me, just by being present and refusing to be anything but himself. Well, thank God for your Gemini ass. Thank God. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are waiting for someone to be your daddy, I call him daddy. It's a cultural thing. Stop. If you're waiting for your Frey to come along, I don't know that there's another Frey in this world. I'm wondering if maybe it's time to recognize that we're trying to shoehorn ourselves into yet another role playing situation where you're going to be the Emmy, you're going to find yourself a Frey. Yo, if you understood the road he and I traveled to get to this point, to this place. Mm, mhm. Mhm. Motherfucker, I'm live right now. Stop trying to ear hustle from the other room. See what I'm saying? I'm joking. Oh, you're listening on your earphones? Okay, keep listening. How do you like my voice? He's watching the live on his phone. Okay, so we're going to leave love alone because now daddy's in the other room. Can't let him feel too special. So, well, actually, this ties into kind of love and then a little bit of future. So, gold and silver, violet flame dragon transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. Excuse me. So, with this, if someone's coming back into your life, if you're allowing someone to uh, occupy space again, you have to first make sure that both of you have learned from the first time, from the last time. You have to do the work that needs to be done, both of you. It cannot be a case of you've done all the work, you have grown yourself, and you're strong enough to do this now. Well, what if they're not willing? What if they're simply interested in repeating these cycles again? Or heaven forbid, what if they're of this energy where, you know, their feelings got hurt. And so now they're trying to come back. Maybe part of them thinks like, oh, we can give it another try. But in reality, they just really they want another opportunity to really bury you. Unless something's changed, you're going to need to reconsider. This goes for friendships, it goes for romantic relationships, it goes for familial connections, business connections. It all kind of ties in together. What you allow to happen in a relationship, it tends to be carried through all the different forms of relationships in your life. So if you allow yourself to be devalued, undervalued, disrespected in a romantic relationship, it tends to kind of carry through into the platonic friendships as well as the professional career type connections. Because I tell you, like, if y'all, I promise you, if I'm not willing to take your shit, I'm not willing to take my husband's shit either. I promise you that. I promise you that. And on the days where I feel low across the board. Maybe I can hide it more in one aspect of my life, but you don't suddenly not feel sad just because, okay, now I'm working. So I have a problem at home. Now I'm working. Okay, nothing's happening now. I'm no longer upset. I'm no longer sad. Maybe you're not able to really allow that to show because, professionalism, but it's still there. It's still there. So allow yourself to begin the process of transmutation. How do you transmute? You have to face it head on. You can't burn something up and transmute it if you're trying to light a fire over there. I mean, unless you're trying to burn your whole life down, then yeah, set a fire wherever. What you need to transmute will be transmuted, but everything else is going to be burned down too. We don't need to destroy the entire house just to remove one cockroach. We just don't. You don't. You have to address the cockroach. If you have a wild ass raccoon in your home, you're not going to set the whole house on fire because the raccoon's in there. And if it's a spider, just set it on fire. I fucking hate spiders. But yeah, no, you would get the raccoon out, you know? Yeah, throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's not good. Definitely not good. So, orange gold dragon from Arcturus. Ooh, he got a stick. He's got a magic stick. We're going to name him 50 Cent. I'm sorry. Open you to knowledge for the new golden age. Carry the energy of the future. Be a guiding light. There you go. You can't be a guiding light if you continue to use the same broken ass bulb that got you in the hole in the first place. Okay. If you've been traveling through a dark period of your life, darkness does not necessarily always mean evil or bad. If you've been traveling through a dark period of your life and you've lost your way because your your batteries are almost dead on your flashlight, I mean, bringing that flashlight on the next trip is not going to help you. is not going to help you. You need to recharge. You need to change out that bulb, change out the batteries, maybe get a whole new, like a new fucking, what are they called? Lights? They're not light sticks. Oh Lord, flashlights. Get a brand new flashlight. Okay? Get a brand new flashlight so you can see clearly. Hell, get a fucking headlamp. Put a headlamp on and have a flashlight and put like some glow shit on your shoes so you can see exactly where you're walking. There's no such thing as being overly prepared for life. There really isn't. The people who will like shame you for shit, y'all don't underestimate the glow stick. I'm just saying, don't underestimate the glow stick. I'll tell you why. I keep packages of unopened glow sticks because all you got to do is break it and you have light. In a very, very dark space, glow sticks are the shit. If it's an emergency, glow stick. What? You ain't got to charge it. As long as it doesn't break, I keep glow sticks in the car. If there is some sort of engine trouble, glow sticks. Bitches, what? You call me Emmy MacGyver. I'm just saying. Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. Thor had a dragon. He had a hammer. Did he have a dragon? 99% at 729. 9972 plus 7 plus 2 is 9, and then 9. So 9999. So Thor's red, black, and gold dragon protects you in times of change, a time of rapid transition and transformation. Relax. You are safe. I mean, all I got to say to Thor's dragon is, motherfucker, don't ever tell me to relax. Unless you want to see me hype the fuck up, do not tell me to relax. My soul gets offended when people tell me to relax. You want to fight? Tell me to relax. Say it one time. Whisper it. Let me hear it. I promise you. I wish a mother would. No, I don't. I'm joking. So I'm wondering, the message for some people for this is that whatever like dysfunctional type of connection you have with someone in your life, there's a potentiality that's going to just, it's out. It Donald ducked, it's out. It's out. It's just out. And it's time maybe to consider moving forward. I'm wondering if for some of you, it's already been done. Like the process of separation has been initiated. Um, maybe not just initiated, but it's well on its way. You guys are already living separate lives. Um, the thing with Pisceans and empaths, though, if you're already living separate lives, why do you continue to allow yourself to be open to receiving their toxicity? They're no longer your problem. Really let that sink in. They are no longer your problem. They are no longer your concern. They now have to take responsibility for their own lives. You don't have to protect them from their own decisions. Now is a time to love them in such a way where they can grow. And maybe that's why it had to end, because there's a potential that your presence continued to enable their toxicity and lack of growth. Not saying it's your fault, just pointing out how you potentially could have contributed to the maintenance of the problem. See? So take it for what it is. It's time for it to be done. Let it actually truly be done. Empaths and Pisceans have a tendency to continue allowing yourself to be dragged into and get involved in solving their problems. You don't even have to listen to what's happening. You really don't. Unless you have it within yourself to keep your emotions separate from it, unless you are already very solid and centered within this new life you're creating without them, it's probably best for you to let them know. I mean, unless you're not, let them know, I'm not a licensed or trained therapist. I don't have the proper training to assist you in this life circumstance. Because really, you know what ends up happening? They end up blaming you because they're not going to listen to your advice, anyways. If they listened to your advice, you'd probably still be together, right? Oftentimes, they didn't want to hear what you had to say. Oftentimes, because they didn't listen to the intuitive hits you were getting, you know, even more going beyond not listening. Sometimes they would do things just to spite you because you said this. I'm gonna fucking do it then, just to show you. And that sounds like some parental issues playing out. Yeah, I mean, unless you're their parent, which then that's Oedipus complex type shit. No, I'm not participating in that. I don't think so. I don't think so. So let them walk away. Most importantly, once you let them walk away, turn around and walk in the opposite direction. Don't continue walking behind them. Okay? These are for relationships that are ending. Now, am I telling you to end a relationship with someone? Well, not really. But if that's the message you're getting from what I'm saying, you probably were already feeling being guided to leave that relationship. And it was just too scary for you to make that, declaration on your own. I'm not really telling anyone to leave anyone. I'm talking on relationships that are already finished. I'm talking on things that just to give you further clarity on what you've already decided for yourself. None of these videos that I create are to give you instruction. Definitely not to tell you to leave a relationship that you're not ready or willing to leave. Okay. So that ties in, the love aspect, the future aspect. For those of you who are single, um, someone's coming. Someone's about to cross paths with you. Don't worry. Don't be eager or anxious. Just allow yourself to continue focusing on your growth, on furthering your process of stabilizing yourself internally, financially, emotionally, mentally, environmentally, professionally, every single way possible. Get really, really solid because I'm feeling like, and it's not going to be true for everyone. It's going to be true for some of you, not for everyone. Okay. I'm kind of feeling like when someone does come, when the paths cross, it could potentially be someone you've already met. It could potentially be someone completely new. Okay. This is general reading, so I can't like talk to specific. But the feeling is when these paths cross, this is just going to be like explosive connection. Like that's the feeling that I get. It's just an explosive connection. Their presence and this time that you spend with them, like small conversations you have, um, it's going to just make all the puzzle pieces kind of just fit into place. It's just, they're like that one piece that makes everything else kind of make sense. So, with that, if you're not solid within yourself, if you're not centered, that's going to just knock you on your ass. It's going to create so much fucking drama in your life. I'm not joking. Like, it's going to make you lose your sense of who you are. And if you're not rooted in this process of finding out who you are, you're going to fall for whatever they say, whatever they do. You're going to just be like a shadow of yourself. And then it's going to crash and burn, and that's going to hurt more than you could possibly imagine. More than you could possibly imagine. But if you can stay very, very solid within yourself, um, there's a potential here. There's definitely a potential here of long term. This is like a true commitment of time, energy, all of that. But it will not be reflected outside of you if you don't first establish it within yourself. Okay. You have to establish this within yourself to have it play out in that way, in the healthiest, most empowering, long term relationship kind of way. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but our sense of perfect, as these rom-com movie type things tell, those are all bullshit. I'll tell you. Those are all bullshit. Okay. If you're really into those movies, that's all they are. They're movies. They're to entertain you, they're to give you a sense of a perfection that's not attainable in real life. because they don't give you a very real basis with how you're going to achieve that and maintain it. They just give you these little snippets that are romantic, that are funny, that cause you to crave that type of dynamic with someone else without really giving you any idea of how they established and maintained that dynamic. It's not going to work like that. It's not. Mhm. It's not. Card number 62. Turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't be in such a rush to live your life by numbers. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. So I knew my husband for, I want to say we were dating for about 3 months. I had already moved 2 hours away. He came to visit me one weekend. He came every weekend. And around the 3 month mark, he came for the weekend. And I was like, "What do you want to do this weekend?" He said he wanted to drive to Lake Tahoe. And I'm like, "Well, I'm not 21. What will we do there? If I get carded, they're going to kick me out of they're going to kick me out of the casino." And he's like, "We can get married. You're fucking tripping. I'm not marrying you." I don't fucking think so. You're crazy. You might need to go home. You're just fucking crazy. I don't know you. Not like that. I don't know you like that, bro. I don't know what kind of plans you have. I don't know what kind of girl you think I am. I'm not marrying you. I don't think so. That's crazy. He knew something though. See, he knew something. I was not solid within myself. I wasn't solid within myself. I appeared very solid. I appeared very polished. I appeared very driven, very professional, very responsible, very grown. But within myself, I definitely wasn't. I wasn't. And because of that, I was not ready to commit in that way. And it was just a scary thing. Like, why would you say that? That's crazy. Why would you want to do that? And well, he was already solid within himself. That's why. He was solid within himself. He knew what he wanted. He saw that not only I guess I have the potential of well, you know what? No. Something tells me he wasn't basing it on potential, that he already saw um everything he needed to see. There was nothing about potential. When you're solid in yourself, you can kind of discern that type of thing. But you have to be very solid within yourself. Um, is is he empathic or psychic? You have to ask him. You have to ask him. Card number 45. Watch your words. Watch your words. Watch the way you speak to yourself, even in the silence of your own heart. Watch your words. When your words carry the weight of civilizations, um, it's not your job to save humanity. It's not your job to save even a single human being. The people who come into this life to save a specific individual, they don't know that until after it's happened. That sense of expectation and obligation, whether it's for relationships, whether it's for platonic friendships, whether it's for family, that's the very thing that causes tremendous amounts of hurt, excuse me, conflict, and a whole bunch of other things. You really don't need that unless that's how you choose to learn your lessons, in which case, go on with your bad self, go do whatever you need to do, learn the lesson you need to learn, lick the wounds, let yourself heal, and then you're stronger, you're fine. You'll get through it, okay? You get through everything in life. You'll get through everything in your life. It might take a little time, it might take a lot of time. You get through everything in your life that you give yourself permission to get through. That's just a fact. That's a fact. So card number 64, wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings. And just because life stings doesn't mean your life has ended. So, okay. Here's the thing. I just heard something like, "Well, what if it's a lot of stings?" Well, why the fuck did you keep standing there if shit was stinging you? I mean, common sense, bro. Common sense. Something stings me, I'm booking it. Whatever direction, as long as it's not towards whatever's stinging me, I'm gonna fucking book it. Are you kidding me? Why keep standing there allowing yourself to get stung? So maybe this ties into whatever is ending in your life. If it hurts that bad, why are you trying to force yourself to continue taking it? What if you deserve it? Who determines what you deserve? Someone outside of you? Someone who doesn't understand all of the traumas that you're trying to work through that's causing some sort of effect on your behaviors and your logic? Not to excuse whatever it is people are doing, but to help people understand. The behaviors that you're witnessing outside of the individual is usually rooted in something from earlier in their life. Are you going to punish them for that if they don't even know that that's what it is? Penance. You were created perfect. You were created perfect with every aspect of your life, every minute detail perfectly calibrated to help you learn whatever you needed to learn. These people that you thought you hurt, they agreed to experience that experience with you to help you learn something that only their presence could teach you. This was done on a soul level. Penance is a human concept that helps to perpetuate self hatred. You are not created to hate yourself, you are programmed and taught to. Are you what you are, or are you what you're told to be? This is something you're going to have to decide. You're either going to be this divine thing that was created in a divine way, or you're going to be what society tells you. Okay, so a fuck up, a loser, can't do anything right, always ruins everyone else's lives, needs to be punished, doesn't deserve to breathe the same air. Like, all of that is bullshit. Take that whole thing and just fucking toss it. Toss it. Toss it. Oh, but I mean, you don't understand. I once spoke to someone and it was similar conversation. And like, you don't understand. I fucked up people's lives because, I had to sell. Y'all know what they were selling. And I was like, so why did you have to sell? What was going on? Well, you know, we just had a baby and then my girl took off with someone else and left the baby with me and I needed diapers and okay, so you're saying you did what you needed to do because you were not allowed to create legal opportunities to acquire the money you need to purchase the items your child needs. So I would say the problem's really not you. I mean, do I agree with the decisions you made? Not really. That wouldn't be my first choice, but sounds like you didn't really have any choices. When you're raised in an environment where you are taught this behavior, and this behavior, that's the only things you can do. If you're a specific gender, this is what you can do. You can't go over here. Then you can't later on punish yourself for only being on the left side because that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need penance ever, ever. I mean that, ever. When you do something that hurts someone else's feelings, it wasn't your intent. Why do you have to be sorry for something that was not an intended result? I mean, good people, people with a heart, um, people with integrity, they tend to feel badly. No, that wasn't my intent, but I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Beautiful. That's an example of how beautiful and loving your heart is. The fact that you feel like you need to be punished, that this is some sort of, this tells me how amazing of a person you actually are. Shitty people don't take accountability for their behaviors. They don't consider penance. They don't. It sounds like you were raised in an environment, you grew up in an environment which programmed you to participate in whatever it is you participated in, whether it was behavioral things, social things, whatever it was. This was the environment you were in. I'm not making excuses for you. Whatever you participated in it. But the fact that you can look back and be like, oh, that was fucked up, dude. I shouldn't have done that. That tells me you're an amazingly beautiful, beautiful person with ridiculous amounts of potentiality that has not been recognized because you're too busy looking back. Look forward. You really want to do penance? Allow yourself to blossom fully, to serve as a testament to the will of soul, to the tenacity of the human heart, to the potentiality once you tap into it. Can you imagine what kind of power you possess if you have lived this type of life, which society frowns upon, and you're able to now live this type of life and be able to help the people who are still there? Help them to see what you suffered through so they don't have to suffer through it. And maybe you had to go through what you had to go through in life to prepare you to become the healer that you are. Maybe it's that. Who knows? Who knows? Let's tap into abundance though. Let's tap into abundance. Let's see where this goes. Ta-da. Mhm. Okay, let me just put this away. All right. Card number. Here we go. Card number 50, Saturn return age. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. You have to. If you do nothing to change, to shift the perception, to shift the filters that you use to view your life, it doesn't matter if 10 years passes, there will be no growth. There will be no shifting. There will be no change. There will be no expansion of awareness to help you tap into higher levels of consciousness. Nothing happens. You're in a holding pattern. So, Saturn, as the Lord of Karma, shatters all illusions. When this card is drawn, it will feel as though nothing goes right for you, and many feel very discouraged. Just as it seems things are progressing, there are obstacles. What this truly is Saturn showing you a part of your life that may not have been based on anything real. So, okay, it may have outlived its purpose, or perhaps you've misjudged a situation thinking better than it was. When it comes to finance, this is about the way you perceive your worth. um, for some, it could mean that the company that you're at, you've reached the ceiling. There's no other place for you to grow within that company. They don't have the ability to continue allowing you to grow, ability or willingness. For people who own their own businesses, maybe if your business isn't progressing, growing in the way that you're expecting, maybe your expectation is off. Maybe you're trying to make it something that it shouldn't be. Maybe you're trying to mimic another business. Maybe what you need is to restructure the way you see, the way you try and accomplish what your goals are for this business. You want to have an authentic brand. And if that brand is not authentic, if you're simply trying to follow trends, you're always going to be behind everyone else. You're always going to try and play catch up, and you can never get the true value of you and your product or your services if you're expending so much energy trying to just follow and be a clone of something. So you have to really shatter that illusion that the only way to be successful is to be a clone of something that's already successful. We don't need more of that. We don't. I mean, do you want to be a Louis Vuitton, or do you want to be a knockoff sold in the alley? Oh, but it's grade A plus plus. You know, it really don't matter. It's still a fucking knockoff. It's not the real thing. You're never going to get $5,000 for a purse that's a knockoff of a $5,000 purse. You're just not. You're not. Unless you're scamming people, which that'll come back to you. That'll absolutely come back to you. What if you're not working? When are you ever really not working? What if what you're working on is not financial? I was thinking of Birkin. They're not 5,000. They were fucking way more than 5,000. Um, so finance is often considered fiat, false money. It's a currency that's really unsubstantiated. There's no backing to it. Um, so what if the finances for those who are not working and not considering businesses, what if this is more tied into your energetic levels, your energetic spiritual wealth? Let that sink in. Because money is currency, currency is energy. Energy is spiritual. So Saturn returns are all about corrections. It corrects any area which isn't based on reality. It might be romance, business deals, educational paths, partnerships, or marriage. What if for some of you, maybe you're not working, maybe right now you're taking classes, maybe right now you're taking some sort of certification course, some vocational school, something. And I mean, why are you taking that? Is that your passion? Is it your passion, or are you thinking, well, this is recession proof? I make a lot of money with it. Because if you want to make a lot of money, do what you love. Do what you love. Because unless you love what you do, you're going to resent the work, and it will show in your work. Your clients will feel it, and they will grow to resent you too. That's just how I see energy. Your environment will always be reflective of your current state. Always. Always. I can always tell when someone is doing something simply for the money factor. It's not going to last. It's just not going to last. You've put a lot of money into this, and now you have an expensive piece of paper because your heart wasn't in it. It wasn't in it. And maybe here's the thing. So I heard someone, I felt someone like, shit. So you're telling me I shouldn't do, I just fucking wasted my time and my money? No, I'm telling you that maybe you needed that experience, and maybe that learning will benefit you in some other way. Maybe that's a part of what your purpose is. Not the career part, but the information you gather, the connections you make. And maybe at some point it'll make sense. But you have to really, really follow where your heart is leading you. If you're trying to simply force pathways of financial abundance, I mean, you're going to be digging quite a bit. We got a term for that in society already: gold diggers. Oh, no, I mean, I'm not using people. Well, you're using yourself, aren't you? Right. Oh, so it's not okay for you to do that to someone else, to gold dig someone else, but it's okay for you to gold dig yourself, to put yourself in a disadvantaged position just so you could have the material things. Just like how gold diggers, they go ahead and put someone else in a disadvantaged position just so they could acquire material things. What are you really doing to yourself? If society deems it not okay for you to dig on someone else, why would you be okay with digging on yourself? And that's where the Saturn return card comes in. This is about shattering the illusions. Are you pimping yourself out to a school? I mean, these are some like really gritty type concepts and terms, like the way it's being put. But really, are you pimping yourself out to a school? Because really, what is it? What are you trying to do? Are you loaning yourself and your energy and your money and your time to this school for what? Are you really, really benefiting from it? What do you really want to do? Because this is the period where if you allow yourself to drop your fear and really, really listen to your heart's guidance, um, you can really establish something solid. Millionaires, the wealthy, the elite, their families were established during a period similar to now, years ago. Years ago. Okay. Years ago. So, do you want to be the next old money family? If that's, I mean, if that's your goal. Because it's at this point you need to establish what you're going to do. You need to establish what you are drawn to, and you need to fight for that with everything you got. You need to really fully commit everything you are into that, whether it be money, whether it just be your time. Both are extremely valuable. Because why do you get paid? For your time. Yeah. So the time you're spending at a job, are you being properly compensated? Is that time you could be developing your natural abilities, your natural gifts, so you can launch your own company? And not all companies will survive. Not all companies will flourish. But when it's in alignment with your purpose, fuck yeah, it will. Absolutely, it will. I established my company with a cell phone, a cheap one, prepaid, cricket. Yeah, yes. I established and maintained my LLC by using a basic cell phone and live streaming on that. That was my startup cost. I think it was like $30 a month. Mhm. Yep. That was how many years ago? And if you guys think like, oh, well, no, I can't start a business now because of, just the economy and this and that. Okay, so let me just tell you, the economy was not bad when I first established my business, but I had a cell phone, a prepaid cell phone, and I was in a parking lot in a 24-year-old RV. Uh, I'm living proof. When it's aligned, when you lose your fear of what will happen when you invest your time and your energy in cultivating yourself and your gifts, beautiful things happen. Absolutely. Beautiful things happen. Powerful things happen. Absolutely. Well, Emmy, you're the exception. Why? Because you said I am? Or is it because I created my opportunity and made myself into an exception? Because I refused to listen to society. I refuse to believe. I refuse to bend. I refuse to bow down to my oppressors. I refuse. I was like, fuck you. My children need to eat. I'm going to fucking develop myself. I'm going to lose my fear. Fuck that shit. I'm going to let go of this shame that I carry because other people tell me I should be ashamed for compensation for my time. No, no more. No more. Actually, Wicked Love Media, part of the way I established my business had to do with custom creation of divine tools. And yeah, in a parking lot at 2 a.m. in a completely blacked out RV, I was using a battery powered lantern that was about, I absolutely was. Because there was no way in hell I was going to disappoint my children. There was no way in hell I was going to listen to anything that told me that I could not do this. Because guess what? I'm fucking doing it. You don't think I can? Step aside out of my way and watch me. Watch me. And this is not about like, oh, you guys, I'm rich. I'm not fucking rich. Are y'all kidding me? Please. I'm not rich, but I'm stable. I'm stable. I work every day. I work every day. I'm fucking working on my birthday. I work every day. That's okay because what I'm building, it goes so far beyond me and my life. I'm establishing something that has a trickle effect because that's part of my purpose. I have to be present in my life every day. People think this is working. This is my life. This is my purpose to be publicly visible, not to exist as a public figure, a guru, a teacher. No, to just be visible. And that's it. Just be visible. Absolutely. You know what? I will be honest with this. I am rich. Rich in love, rich in knowing, rich in energy. And that's all I'm worried about. Never being overly depleted in any of those things. And so long as I have all of that fully charged, overflowing, everything is fine. No matter what human struggles come across my path, they will be resolved. I can let myself have a little bit of a breakdown. I can go ahead and cry about it, be pissed off about it, tell myself I'm gonna give up, fuck this shit. No, you're not, girl. Have your little cry, wipe your tears, get the fuck back to work. Bottom line. That's it. That's it. Is it about ignoring how you feel? Is it about not allowing yourself to be frustrated if that's how you feel? No. It's about realizing the richness in the moment. If allow yourself to be fully present in that rich moment of learning, you will be able to translate that, transmute that into a way that will help you bring in that financial abundance. The only thing that blocks your abundance is you. That's the only thing. Nothing else can block your abundance but you. Oh, but Emmy, people did a spell on me. No, they did a spell on you, not your abundance. Let that sink in. They're fucking with you, not your abundance. No one else can tap into your abundance. Not a single person. Only you can tap into that. So as long as you're in your head, fucking yourself up with these things that you're thinking, the whole penance thing coming in, yeah, your abundance is like, okay, you need time. Okay, we'll just be right here. We'll be right here. Let us know when you're ready. And that's how you block your own abundance. Oh no, I don't deserve it. The way I was able to release the shame of being compensated, financially compensated for the work that I do, Michael had a really, really intense conversation with me one day. He said to me, there are so many people waiting for you to step into your rightful place. And your rightful place is a place of extreme wealth. Not because you're better than everyone, but because you don't want to hold on to that money and you can give it back. You can allow yourself to be wealthy enough to displace that one fucking percent and empower the people. I was like, what? And he was basically like, how fucking dare you disrespect your purpose in this way? What? Well, why didn't you explain to me like that before? Yeah, it's not my wealth. It's not. Because really, how have I always functioned? If I have and I see you need, here, have some shit. There's just have it. Oh my God, no, you need. No, you don't have to. Don't even thank me. This is the reason why our paths cross. That's why that money is in my account because I needed to give it to you. It's no biggie. You don't even have to thank me. Don't worry about it. Just remember you're loved. So why should I be ashamed that I earn? Why should I continue to block that abundance from coming to me? That abundance has to come to me so I can better serve my purpose. The more stable I am with that financial abundance, the less time I spend worrying about bullshit stuff that will be resolved anyways. The more time I can spend focusing on cultivating my gifts, my understanding, opening myself up to receiving more so that I could give more, allowing myself to be more visible so that more people can understand it's okay for you to be authentically you. There's nothing shameful about being you. So is this about me saying that I'm rich? Rich in spirit, rich in love? Hell fucking yes. Financial richness? No. Are you kidding me? No, no, because I don't need to be. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not my goal. Eventually that comes. And when that comes, I will be in a position to better distribute that, to better utilize that for the benefit of all of humanity. And until I'm ready, mature enough within myself, until I've worked on myself enough to be able to handle that type of responsibility, that money can stay away for now. There's no biggie to me. My children are fed. We have a house. That's fine. That's fine. I'm still able to help other people. That's fine. See, it's about allowing yourself to be in this moment. And in this moment, you're receiving so much abundance. It's shifting the way you're seeing yourself, your place in the world, how you've been blocking your financial abundance from coming in, how you've been blocking your emotional, social abundance from coming in. You don't have to do this alone. You can allow the people who are meant to encourage, inspire, and support you, you can allow them in. You just have to use discernment. Don't allow the ones in that are faking it, that are pretending to be that for you. You don't need none of that. You got plenty of that toxicity already within yourself. You don't need to invite anyone else's toxicity into your life. I pay you, and then, honey, you don't even have to pay me. Our souls already mutually agreed to share this space together. This is shared space. This is not a space to pay. And that's the thing, Maurice. Stop selling yourself short. Although I'm the one that's being seen and heard, your presence here with me now is just as valuable as my presence here with you. You have to see. You have to feel. You have to accept. You are my equal in every way. In every way. There's no need for penance. There's no need for payment. There's no need for any of that. Any of that at all. At all. Okay. So let's see. Saturn returns tend to bring on rough passages, but also a harvest. You're now at a time when you understand things better than you did even a year ago. It's time to be brave and face this important passage. There are no quick fixes when this card turns up. Know what you can and cannot do. Take life in a measured way, much like this planet of time already does. Let go of your illusions, for they do not serve you. You're down to the brass tacks now. Time to see what you're made of. And guess what? We're made of divinity. What we're made of. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Calm down, girl. It's right there. Manually turn the pages. No, sorry. Okay, card number 21, Sagittarius. I see. Luck is not chance, it's toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned. You're just about ready to hit your mark. The sign of Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter and is a mutable fire sign. Easygoing. It's time for you to allow your fire to be easygoing. Okay. We don't always have to be full blast like a torch. We don't always have to force ourselves to mute ourselves up like an ember, be all, muted. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. The ancient symbol for Sagittarius is a half man, half horse, known as a centaur, a creature trained in the art of archery who always manages to hit his target no matter how far he roams. Even with your eyes closed, you hit the mark. Even with lack of awareness, you hit the mark every single time. If you think you're super lost in your life, you hit the mark right now, stumbling across this video. This is your sign. This is your confirmation. You are living your life in perfect time and measure. Everything that needed to happen, everything that needed to be accomplished, everything that needed to be learned, you have learned in perfect time. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. Whatever timeline you think you have, that is a lie. It was created by the unstable human mind influenced by an unbalanced ego. The ego doesn't need to be killed. It doesn't need to be harmed in any way. It needs to be reminded in a firm manner what its role is in your life to give you a sense of individuated experience, existence. That is it. It is a fucking toddler. You do not give the toddler the keys to the Mack truck. You can let the toddler sit in your lap and pretend it's driving. Okay. Not really with the car on. Okay. And that's what the ego is. You don't got to harm the toddler. You don't even got to put the toddler in his cage. My toddlers have always been so well behaved because I just be like, look, look, I'm not playing with you right now. What you're doing is not appropriate. Sorry, mommy. Mm-hmm. Okay. You be knowing. Don't make me tell you twice. What happens if I tell you twice? I get irritated. And then what happens? You got to deal with an irritated mom. That's what happens. You don't like that. So don't do that. Yeah, no, I don't like that, mommy. That's what happens. That's our conversation. So let's see. Okay, Sagittarians tend to be rather lucky, but have a habit of not handling money well and will sometimes squander any wealth that comes to them. So we're talking about money. Money is currency, currency is energy. I'm wondering if the message here is you're not handling your energy well and that maybe you're squandering it on things that really are irrelevant. That concept of like you're not good enough, the trying to atone, trying to eh, like there's also this concept of like karmic I spit, sorry. Karmic stuff like you have to suffer because of karma. Karma is miasmic distortion. That's frozen light code. That light code was the programming that was being run for the lesson you were learning in a previous life. It has nothing to do with you are bad or good because creation does not deal in the negatives. It doesn't. That's a human made concept. Good and bad, that's a human made concept. There just is. There is polarities. And each of the polarities give further definition and nuance to the opposing polarity through juxtaposition. So this whole thing of like, oh, it's because karma. Uh, Frozen light code, you pressed pause on that lesson you were learning, whatever life that was. We're just unpausing it so you can finish the lesson. If you would be fully present in that lesson, um, well, you could get it done. I mean, it reminds me of this. Yeah, I was 18 and I took a chemistry class and my dyslexia kicked in. I couldn't quite grasp it. And I got frustrated because I'm accustomed to everything that I'm learning to be extremely easy for me. Like that's just yeah. You show me one component and I can quantum leap to, oh, I get it. I'm done with the whole chapter. Yeah, not for chemistry. I actually had to like pay attention and that fucked with my ego so bad. And so I got depressed and I failed. I got a D. Anything below an A is failure to me. And so I took it again the next semester because fuck that. I'm not failing that shit. It's fucking basic chemistry. Are you kidding me? And I was getting an A in that class. And then my self sabotage came back the last week of class. I decided not to show up because I was already getting an A. And I knew I was going to ace that final. Except for the fact that I didn't realize on the last day of class before the final, the teacher gave everyone a take home portion of that final, which was 50% of your final grade. So instead of telling the teacher, I found this out as everyone was waiting in front of the classroom to get into the class. I found this out and I was like, "What? What take home portion?" They're like, "Oh yeah, you weren't here, were you?" Instead of telling the teacher, like, "Hey, can I have a take home portion to complete?" I didn't realize there was take home portion. I fucking left. I left. I didn't talk to the teacher at all. I packed my shit and I left. And the teacher saw me walking out. He's like, "Where are you going? Is everything okay? You weren't here for the last week." I was like, "Fuck this shit." And I left. And that time I really did get an F because I wasn't fully present. Because I allowed myself to get out of line because of my ego, because of this, because of that, instead of allowing myself to be fully present and actually learn, like, oh shit, I miscalculated. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Let me hold myself accountable for this. Oh no, I made sure I felt that shit real good, completely. And then the teacher, oh my God, the teacher messaged me, he emailed me, and he was just like, "Hey, I just need to check with you. You left in a rush." And then I just never responded. I don't think it's penance. I think it's just full on self-sabotage. I think it's full on self-sabotage because I had already programmed myself to believe that chemistry would be bad for me, would be a difficult experience, and that I'm a failure in chemistry. I don't know. Maybe I was a fucking chemist in a previous life. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's just some like weird thing that I do sometimes. Does that make me a bad person? No, it doesn't. Does that make me incapable of self-love and self-respect? In that moment, I was very young. I was very young and I was so very convinced that life was only a specific way. And unless I live in that way, I'm worthless. Like literally. Unless I get straight A's and get accepted into the pre-med program and become a cardiothoracic surgeon with a secondary specialty in neurology, I'm a failure. Mhm. Crazy shit, huh? Crazy shit. Guess what, you guys? I'm so fucking far from being a failure, and I have 0 initials after my last name. I have no certificates in anything. I don't have a college degree, not even an AA. I never went back because at some point I realized that path is not for me. Did I waste my time? No. Everything I learned was necessary. Oh, but what about all of this like heavy emphasis on biology as your major and all this medical shit that you learned? Yeah, you don't think I use that now? I'm a medical intuitive. I needed that information. I needed that to help further develop my actual purpose, which is what? Helping. Being able to communicate to the individual what they should communicate to their doctor. Oh, but you're not a doctor. That's right. Because I couldn't be indoctrinated. If I continued with that program, I wouldn't be able to function the way I do now because I would lose my receptivity to soul. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I was prevented from finishing a traditional education because at no point would my soul allow me to be fully indoctrinated. Because really, modern education, as we see it right now, is a process of indoctrination. You are not being encouraged to be a free thinker. You are being encouraged to memorize and regurgitate. That's okay if you finish school. That's okay if that's a system you Work within. That's okay. I have my own path. My path leads me back home to me. I am not you. Your home is within yourself. You are on a different path. The whole point of this is to help you to see no mistakes are ever made. Regardless of what you perceive is a mistake within your life, it's not a mistake. It is not a mistake. It is your soul guiding you to the next part, the next chapter. And you can't be fully present, reading the next chapter, living the next chapter, if you keep looking back and reading the chapters you just finished. Allow yourself to move forward. Allow yourself to see. Ooh, your future looks promising because you're ready to expand and grow beyond your limits. If you do encounter difficulties, you will surmount them easily and move forward to your next lucky break in life, which should be coming soon. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in lucky breaks. I believe in causation and effect. And although you may not identify the causation, which serves as the point of origination, you will absolutely live through the effects. Absolutely. And sometimes the effects extend beyond that life. Sometimes the causation predates this life. Who cares? Just be present. Just be present. When you're so busy trying to look, well, where did this come from? Where this? Okay, who cares? You got chocolate in front of you. Eat it. Eat it. Just eat it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Be fully present. Like close your eyes and savor it. Don't even chew it. Take a bite and allow it to melt in your mouth. And allow that melted chocolate to slowly just drip down your throat. Mm. I'm just saying. Card number 29, fifth house, creativity. Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. Ooh, we're being called out. Be happy. Give yourself the gift of happiness. Let's see. This card turning up in a reading indicates that you have created or will begin to create something to be proud of, something that will bring others joy. It may have you on a stage or just an area where adults can let down their hair and become as children, responsive, joyful, and free. You can expect the completion of a project or the accomplishment of a significant goal for which there will be celebration. Find out what makes you feel alive. Figure out how you can monetize that. There's nothing wrong, greedy, selfish, unspiritual, or any of that stupid shit that people are thought. There's nothing wrong with finding a way to monetize your passion. The work that I do, I would fucking do it for free. I'd been doing it for free for my entire life. And I only began to realize that I was being stupid by believing that I should be ashamed of being able to provide things at an elevated level. I was ashamed of it. Craziness, right? Up until about like 5 years ago. Wait. 2017. Before 2017, you had to personally know the person that I know, and they had to refer you to me. And then you had to promise to never tell anyone who I am and what I did for you before I agree to help you. That's the dumbest shit ever, right? Yeah, no. Like, if you would just randomly ask me if I can do something, like, hey, I heard that you helped so and so and so and so, and I have this problem. I don't know what you're talking about. Who told you that? I don't know that person. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. All the way up till 2017. Let yourself wrap your mind around that. And I only began reading cards um publicly, I think in like 2019. I think, yeah, 2019. Hmm. Before that, I wouldn't even admit to anyone that I own oracle cards, tarot cards, or that I'm clairvoyant. I wouldn't, yeah, no. I would never admit that to anybody. I would never, ever, ever let anybody know that I can hear and see people who have passed away. Mhm. Fuck no. What? No, I did not say that. I didn't say that. What are you talking about? Why, how would I know that? No, you told me that before. Yeah, no, I was so full of shit. I was so full of shit, you guys. Thank you, 11. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. It's all about finding joy and creativity and self expression with a promise of a jubilant return to childhood. It can denote a carnival like atmosphere where life becomes a three-ring circus, but usually in the best way possible. It's all about multitasking, taking on more than expected, and then making a spectacular success of it. This is the card of mastery and victory in a deep way, such as that which you already carry inside your heart. All is possible now. The most important thing is to move forward. All of these cards are telling you abundance is coming in all of its forms unless you block it. If you choose to block it, there's nothing anybody can do. Nothing. Nothing that anyone can do to stop that blockage. Okay. Um, you started following me in 2019 when I had 300 subscribers. Oh my God. So you've seen the whole awkwardness. You guys have to see some of the old, like the really, really old. I think it's like 2016. There's maybe like 2 or 3 videos from 2016. And you need to see the change in me, down to the sound of my voice. Okay. Final card. Let's get a final card for you guys because I have more chocolate to eat. Okay. If you guys are just tuning in, oh, I need this. I need this. So I've been like gorging on chocolate all day. I made it myself. They're fucking huge. Yes, they're huge. They're huge. So, for those of you who've known me for quite some time, you know that I used to make chocolate. And for those who have been waiting for me to finally offer them again, I think it's been about 5 years. I think it's been about 5 years, maybe 6, since I've been willing to make chocolate for other people. That's the link in the pinned comment. Very limited quantities. Very, very limited quantities. I really just made it available because someone who's been with me for a very, very long time before any of the Emmy stuff, she'd been waiting. And every like 6 months to a year, she'll comment and remind me that she loved the chocolates. And I just had to love on her a little bit. 5 years is a long time. I actually used to do medibles. Not no more. I used to make them. I know how to dose it to maximum legal limits, and I just, who knows, maybe I can yeah, no, like I don't have any formal education in anything, but yeah, I'm actually a chocolatier. Crazy, right? Oh, what a passionate heart will make for you. what type of life it will create for you. And that's what it was. The reason I became a chocolatier is because my children have very severe food allergies. And I didn't feel it was right for them to do without the yummy things that all the other children eat. So I created chocolate that was gluten free, dairy free, um, made from good ingredients that wouldn't trigger their allergies. So, card number 14, let love transform. The spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes all soul. Love is my medicine, intelligent medicine. It takes death and makes it a passageway into greater life. What genius is this? A genius that will render anything and everything as a pathway to life. I have found a bench upon which we may be seated. Nay, not a bench, a love seat. It's carved of precious ruby. It sits under the gentle shade of an ancient tree that thrives in love's garden. Come sit with me as we let the whispers of the great beloved penetrate our hallowed ears, carried upon the sweet afternoon breeze. As the sun begins to set, the colors become vibrant. Even if we are deaf to the beloved's tender whispers, we shall not be blind. We shall be captured by the vivid display of the beloved's artistry and be transported into peace. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight is there from all those that walk this way of life? To find another precious companion in their midst, you are welcomed into this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It's not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. Were we able to remain always in the heart, we would be constantly breathless, in a fit of appreciation and awe so great. Truly, there would not be even a slither of emptiness through which fear could enter. What does this mean? It means an avenue for divine fulfillment has already been found. You are being given the power for spiritual success. Your heart's yearning shall manifest itself, but you must comply according to the law of love. What does that mean exactly? Do not attach yourself to the form that your resolution and success shall take. Why would we seek to limit love's creative genius? No, instead, trust that it will be magnificent, perfection, literally the work of a genius. Detach yourself from expectations of timing. The harvest will be at the best time when the ripeness is just right. So utterly juicy and sweet, you shall know with certainty that this was the best way. Not a moment sooner would have been perfect, not a moment later. Absolute trust is the best way to adhere to the law of love. This gives you rather some energy to spare. Perhaps that might have otherwise been engaged in perpetuating worry or doubt. Well, I'm happy to see that you are twiddling your divine thumbs and wondering if you're not going to worry. If you are just going to surrender and trust, then what exactly will you do with yourself? Well, of course, you can just live your life. But perhaps you may want to dance barefoot and wild with me upon the cool sand at midnight under the fullness of the harvest moon. You are being prepared to harvest the abundance of your life. No one else can harvest this for you. This is the orchard within your heart that you have been cultivating with all of your blood, sweat, and tears. Every time life has gotten hard and caused you to cry in public, cry in silence, you have been watering this orchard. If you don't know, orchards are parcels of land that grow fruit trees. food trees, any type of fruit, nuts, whatever it is. It grows in an orchard. That means you will never starve. That means you have everything you need to be very comfortable in this life. You will have the spiritual nourishment. The trees that can no longer bear fruit, they can be cut down. They can be cut down and their wood turned into your spiritual house. You have everything you need already growing within you. You've already been watering your orchard. And if you think, oh, well, I've spent my whole life not, I haven't tended to it. Yeah, you didn't need to tend to it in that way. You simply needed to allow yourself to experience whatever it was your life was asking you to experience. Being fully present, those happy times where you felt very bright, like a sunshine, that nurtured your orchard. Those times when it was very, very dark in life and you cried, I'm sorry if you don't know this, but trees can't be exposed to light 24 hours a day or they burn. It burns them. It injures the trees and the trees don't grow properly. They don't bear fruit properly. They can't sustain you properly. If you think the goal of life is to always be in the sunlight, enjoy the burn. When you juxtapose light and darkness, you understand the gravity of each. You begin to understand the value of that deep darkness where you can rest and grow quiet, and that sunlight where you can stretch and see, explore. Embrace all parts of yourself. Stop being ashamed of certain aspects because other people in your life, other people you see online, haven't gotten to a point in their journey where they can value those things within themselves. It's not about always being bright, it's not always about being in the light. Some of my most powerful moments, I was covered in darkness. Mhm. My most profound learning was done in shadows. Do you know how long I've hidden myself away? If you're hiding yourself away from society, you're definitely not existing in your light. If you think claiming this love and light thing is about being in the light, no, because you can't be your authentic self if it's just love and light, because you have dark aspects. You have aspects that don't feel like love in the way love is defined by society. It feels hurt, it feels angry. Those are all still valid feelings. Those are all still valid parts of yourself. When you experience a moment of anger, you get a better understanding of what happiness means. Mhm. The way you guys see me, the way you guys experience, perceive the gravity of my abilities. I don't know what y'all are talking about. This is all I know. This is my normal. I don't know why it's impressive or any of that. Like, this is my normal. Oh my god, Emmy, it's so profound. I was just thinking about this on the toilet. What is so profound about it? It was just common sense to me. It's my normal. What do you mean? It's my normal. How do I know how amazing the work that I do is? Because I witnessed you experience it. That's the only way I know. You're so humble, Emmy. No, I just really don't know what all the fuss is about. I really, honestly, genuinely don't know why it's such a big deal because really, this is my normal. And maybe this is supposed to be my normal because not only is this my purpose, I can't allow myself to be jaded or disillusioned by the fact, oh, I'm so much better than. No, girl, sit down. Sit down. We're going to talk when you're on the toilet again. No, sit down. Sit back on the toilet. You're kind of full of shit right now, girl. kind of full of shit right now. Just have a seat. It's gonna be okay. We can get all that stupid shit out. We're gonna get all of that out. This is just your normal. You just like everybody else. A little bit different. Just a little bit. It's okay. You're different for a reason. I have these conversations with myself. I do. I literally, it's okay, girl. Yes, it's okay. You're a little bit different than everyone else. It's okay. We can't all be the same. Yeah, no, seriously, complete with holding my hands. Like I have to hold my own hands. However, you guys think you see me, I promise you, I don't see myself in that way. I really, really don't. And that's okay because I don't need to see it in whatever way you see it. I just need to continue to be my most authentic self. Whether I recognize the value of this or not, it has intrinsic worth. Whether you recognize the value of you or not, you are born with intrinsic worth. Believe in your potentiality more than you believe in your fear. Because whatever you believe in the most, um, that's what comes forward. That's what becomes the primary theme of your life. Well, how do I do that, Emmy? Well, I mean, I can only tell you how I did it. I gave myself permission to continue complying with my soul without understanding any of what the hell my soul is saying. Mhm. Yes. I don't even talk to my soul. That's why Michael's always here because I refuse to hear that wench. I'm like, girl, you got us in so much shit for so many lives. Like, really? You think I'm gonna listen to you in this one? And then here comes Michael. Are you sure that's what you want to do? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it's fine. I have my own process. You have your own process. Allow yourself to be fully present without needing to fully, completely understand every single nuanced detail of what your soul is asking you to do. Because why do you need to understand? Ask yourself that. I found a few reasons. I asked myself this before. One, I don't trust my soul. I'm just like, girl, I don't know if I trust you. I remember quite a few things. You made some pretty bad decisions in previous lives. Some of those lives are pretty ugly. I don't know if I trust you in this one. So that's the first one. Secondly, I need to understand because if I see all the details and I understand it fully, then I know how to circumvent you. Such a horrible thing to admit, huh? I'll let you just keep talking so I can understand how you work, so I can circumvent you. When people get all irate with me, which is not often, but when people get irate with me and they're like, you just this is all in my face, I'll just look at you and keep observing. And that's how I go around you. Oh, keep going. That's the path. That's you push this button and their head turns that way and you just walk that way. That's how you do it. Yeah. And so I recognized I was trying to circumvent my soul. Why is that? Because I'm afraid. Afraid of what? I don't know. It's just a fear. I'm fearing something, and so I need to control. And if you struggle with the need to control, it's because you're afraid of something. Find out what you're afraid of. And that need to control will naturally begin to resolve itself. Major life lesson. Major, major, major life lesson. When your need to control begins to be expressed within some sort of pathology type of thing, um, that's a major fear. And I used to think the fear had to do with a sense of, I don't want to fail. No, honey, no. Um, excuse me. I recognized the fear wasn't about failure, the fear was about success. Crazy, right? I was afraid that if I succeed, too many people will notice. And when too many people notice, I can no longer go back to pretending I'm normal. And if I can't go back to pretending I'm normal, then I have to exist as my most authentic self. And if I have to exist as my most authentic self, then I'm going to be even more visible. And then it's just going to amplify the cycle even more. And then all of these things that were toxic distortions created by my perceptions of things from my childhood. Well, oh shit. How do I fix that? Well, honey, you're not supposed to. People will tell you this lie that you have to erase the recordings from childhood. Everything exists for a reason, just like demonic should exist. Why? Because it gives clarity to light, juxtaposition. Well, why do I have to have that recording? It's hurtful, it's harmful. It's only harmful if you allow yourself to be disempowered through your perception. All of these recordings that I hear that are from my childhood, every time it pops up, no, bitch, you couldn't break me as a child. You're not going to break me in my prime. Try harder. Mhm. That's all the recordings do for me now. That's all it does. It reminds me, refocuses me, re empowers me. Like, nope, nope, oh, nope. Mm-mm. Oh, people think you're annoying. I don't give a shit. They can change the channel. I don't give a shit. Oh, people think you're bossy. Well, sometimes I just got to call it how it is. People think you're rude. Well, I can't sugarcoat things. People think this. People think. Yeah, I really don't care. I care a lot, just not about that. I don't care about that. It's okay for me to not care about that. It's okay for me to be the kind of person who gives tremendous amounts of fucks where it's like I give so many fucks that it has to have its own warehouse. That's how many fucks I have within me. Um, but I'm selective of what I use those fucks on. You're not going to convince me to waste all of these fucks on things that don't grow me or grow other people. I'm in control of the delivery system that is used to get those fucks to where you're trying to get them. And if I don't give permission, that fuck does not get delivered to something that doesn't deserve it. And it's okay for me to determine for myself what deserves and does not deserve my concern. That's a beautiful thing about sovereignty. I don't need someone else's permission or agreement. I can agree on stuff with myself. I can decide on stuff by myself, and it's okay. Some people will agree, some people will not. Has nothing to do with me. As long as it's not your intent to harm someone else, focus on you. Focus on you, grow yourself, let go of the things that have been weighing you down. You've been lifting these weights for long enough. It's time to take a little bit of a break. If you don't know about how muscles grow, how to shift your physique, um, not only do you need resistance, weights, to induce, a period of hypertrophy where the muscles grow. Um, you also need a recovery period. Each muscle group has a specific amount of time it needs to recover. Because really, what's going on in a cycle of hypertrophy with all of that resistance, and you're pushing the muscle, pushing, push, push, push. You're pushing to the point of muscle failure, not fatigue. You're not just trying to tire the muscle out. You're trying to push until it fails. And it's in that moment of failure the growth happens. Same thing with spirituality. It's in that moment of failure the greatest, most elevated level of potentiality is reached. But that moment doesn't amount to anything unless you give yourself the time to recover the components that you need to regenerate. Because how do you grow muscle? Not atrophy, hypertrophy. When you lift weights in that way, you are creating micro tears in that muscle fiber. When you allow yourself to consume the proper amino acids and other proteins and whatever else you need in order to repair that within the time needed to begin that repair process, you're now creating more muscle mass. Mhm. So when you go through a spiritual dark night of the soul, that's the muscle failure. You're working it to the point of failure. You feel like you've failed. You've now entered into a state of dark night of the soul. And what happens? Instead of shutting down, nurture yourself. Instead of berating yourself the way you're taught to, like, oh my God, only a weak mind goes through blah, 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 blah. Motherfuckers, my mind is so fucking powerful that it makes me sad to exist in this world, seeing the way the world exists. Depression is not a result of a weak mind. Depression is a result of an angelic being fully aware, witnessing the world hating itself. I don't know why I'm depressed. Well, you're probably fucking angelic. And you probably feel disrespected by seeing the world operating the way it does. Yeah, I'm chronic state of depression. Is just the world fucking sucks. Seeing people shame each other for having needs, for having feelings, for being human beings. That just fucking sucks. It sucks. To be able to see with clarity, that just fucking sucks. It sucks. It makes me sad. It shuts me down. That's why I can't be on social media too much. That's why I'm so fucking sarcastic all the time. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with seeing people hurting themselves over and over and over. I can't deal with seeing people being intentionally harmful. I can't deal with it. And it's not because my mind is weak. It's because I have elevated understanding, compassion, and grace. It's okay for me to be aware of that as well. And to continue to live a human life, be present as a human being, have a human experience. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for me to feel like I failed one day and to elevate myself another day. It's okay for me to have these cycles and go through them. It's not pathology because I'm always able to come back to center and grow from the experience. Pathology is disease. My organic learning cycles and processes is not diseased. It's just not understood. And this is not me making excuses for myself. This is me existing in my most authentic way possible, where I'm no longer trying to hide away. I'm no longer trying to excuse. I just know it is what it is. This is how I learn. I often choose the most difficult way to learn something, failing to know in that moment, while I'm in that circumstance, there's another way to learn it, much more easier, less painful, less struggle. Ain't nobody told me that shit. I just look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I do it the hardest way possible? What the fuck? Oh, yeah, because I needed to carry the most weight. Hypertrophy, remember? The more resistance, the heavier the load you carry, the higher the potentiality. More likely you're going to feel like you failed at something. But again, what did I say? In that moment of failure, that perceived failure, not the muscle fatigue, the muscle failure, you've just tapped into the greatest, most elevated level of potentiality. And all you got to do now is nurture yourself. Drink that BCAA. Rest. Have some peanut butter and banana. Have a cup of soy milk. You'll grow. You really, really will. You'll grow. You'll grow in ways you never thought was possible. And it's okay. You didn't even need your permission to grow in that way. You didn't even need your understanding to grow in that way. You just needed to be present. Ah. So there it is. Presence. Be your own gift. Be present. Okay. So, you guys, I hope this reading made sense. I don't even know what I was reading about. Hope it made sense. All right. I'm going to get going. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. Thank you all, like all of you, for all the ways in which you celebrate me, celebrate with me on my birthday, on other days, pretty much every day. You guys have no idea how much you contribute to my growth. Your presence, even when you're silent, it really helps me to understand the gravity of what I'm here to do. I can't even fully articulate how that works. And maybe I don't even need to understand. I just need to feel it. I just need to accept it and just be present with you guys. Mhm. Like I said, you don't need to fully understand. You don't need to fully know. Okay. Just go with it. All right, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live. Um, I forgot. Michael said there was something else I was supposed to tell you guys. I hate when he does this. He doesn't just tell me what I was supposed to tell you guys. He just wasn't there something else you wanted to say? If I knew, I would have said it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna make stuff up. I don't know what it is. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. So thank you guys again. Thumbs up for the video. Love you guys. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.